I mean, it's not even correct to say that they weren't taking sides on this. They were taking sides on this. The side that they were taking was the side of Benjamin Netanyahu, which is even more significant. Now, of course, we're going to talk about some other stuff as well, but I wanted to briefly show something from the Nelk boys. Nelk boy with questions to ask Netanyahu. This idiot just confirmed they were doing straight propaganda for Israel, says yeet the rich. Let's take a look.
So we walked in and there was just like 20 people in suits there.
Yeah.
And for the record, this right here, like the very fact that Benjamin Netanyahu sought out the Nelk boys to do PR, which was a massive failure, a spectacular failure on all fronts. But the very fact that he thought that this would be something necessary for him implies that Israel has lost the plot. Okay? You need to understand. This shows that the environment is dramatically different.
Walked in and there was just like 20 people in suits there.
Yeah.
The setup was already there, like both flags, we couldn't touch anything or move anything.
And they don't give you any restrictions like don't ask this.
I'll be honest, they gave us a paper with questions to ask. But they also said they kind of, they gave us a script to ask, but we didn't really follow it. Yeah. We tried our very best to ask some questions, but I think
personally I like the questions you asked to him.
It was tough, but with a guy like that, I just wasn't really educated on the subject, So we walked in and there was just
the reason why it was the Nelk boys that were tasked with this role, the interviewing of Benjamin Netanyahu, is because of the expectation that they wouldn't know any better. Their platform, the audience profile, and perhaps more importantly than everything else, their lack of interest in the truth and their lack of knowledge surrounding the issues made it a perfect opportunity for Israel to try and send Benjamin Netanyahu to do propaganda. Now, it still failed because Benjamin Netanyahu is a repulsive monster and Israel is incredibly unpopular for good reason, especially amongst the youth, that ultimately they just miscalculated.
I wish we could go back in time and grill them 1,000 times harder. And we just went in there unequipped to interview him. And that's the honest truth. So, but there's nothing.
Like, think about how much backlash they've received. Think about how much backlash they've received that, like, Kyle is coming out and being like, yo, we up. Like, they're doing, like, follow-up after follow-up to be like, oh, man, I wish. Like, think about that. Because these guys don't give a shit about anything. All they care about is the clout and the way that they're received by their audience. The reason why I'm saying this is not to say, oh, this is so sincere, you should feel bad about these guys. Please, make no mistake. If the only thing they respond to is backlash, think about how much that backlash was from literally virtually every part of the internet that they are at least thinking that they have to do damage control here. Instead of just moving on and being like, nah, dog, I'm popping champagne. It's time to slam back Happy Dads. Okay?
Thing you can do, guys. I know it's in my heart. I mean, we have a lot of Muslim friends. We've been to Dagestan. We all know what's in our hearts. We don't hate anybody. We're not taking sides in this shit. We love everybody. I'm sleeping great because I know how I actually feel on the inside. So, and I know a lot of you guys are, and this is not an apology. This is just, we walked in there and we weren't ready for it, man. And we walked in there uneducated. And I can admit that. But life goes on. There's nothing you could do. Next week on the podcast, shout out to my friend Ali, who manages like Khabib, Islam, and all them. We had a long conversation. I wish we could go back in time and
I mean, it's not even correct to say that they weren't taking sides on this. They were taking sides on this. The side that they were taking was the side of Benjamin Netanyahu, which is even more significant. See, they do not regret it. They did the propaganda and wanted to do it. You're being nice to these dudes. No, dude, you're being too autistic to understand the point I'm making. I don't give a shit whether they feel bad about it or not. You're not understanding my point. I'm talking more so about the backlash. The backlash was so intense that even they have to come to that recognition. Hello? Jesus Christ, dude. Don't say whoa. God damn, how many fucking times do I have to explain this?